Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. Beautiful people, I've been listening from the days of Monique when she was talking about black women being underpaid. And so basically, and I'm, just kind of summing up everything, overworked, underpaid, doing very good work, being good actors, actresses, as the case may be. And, Taraji came back in 2023, with just the pain of not being paid what she's worth. Black women predominantly, because, our gender, let us use the word gender in terms of male versus female. That's what I mean in this sense, or sex. Gender is really in terms of feminine, masculine. Sex is male, female. So in terms of our, male counterpart, let me say it that way, they generally garner more. I can understand. I'm going to be very honest with you. If we're in the same position, I don't have a problem if the man gets a little bit above. In this sense, let me qualify before, especially if he has a family and he's really the breadwinner. It doesn't really trouble me. Maybe it's because of the era that I was growing up in. I don't believe there must be a great disparity between the two, the male and the female. But if the man gets a little bit more and it's nothing grandiose, like a golf, it doesn't trouble me that much. I'm going to be very honest with you, because the truth of the matter is, generally men take care of women financially, generally. All right, you do have women who take care of men, but that it's in comparison to the males, it's not, there's no comparison, and it's not comparable. It's not 50-50. All right, so with that reality, it doesn't trouble me. So I can understand from that standpoint as to why men over the decades, over the centuries, have been paid more than women. Remember, there was a point when women did work. So, all right, and again, I'm not saying there must be a gulf. Where it becomes bothersome is the whole racial, card, the whole race saga, where you have black women who are very gifted as their white female counterpart, in terms of acting or singing or whatever it is. And especially as it relates to acting in particular, because they tend to have more popular singers, maybe among the black community, that are very popular, that are like the number one, like you said, number one pop and the gospel or whatever it is. They tend to fall under the black. So maybe they get away a little bit better in that avenue. Maybe to an extent, I use the word maybe as a clause there. But especially as it regards acting, oh my God, when it is very much diverse, it's very difficult, as Viola Davis stated, the men gets higher, women get basically 50% of that. Then the black community, let us put it that way, they get 10% of that 50%. So their white counterpart will get, let us say they get 50%, they are only getting a percentage of that 50%. No matter how good they are. And Viola Davis, she said another actress came to her and said, but Viola, you're doing, in other words, she's trying to say that, both of us are good actors or actresses. You're getting maybe a little bit more than I. And Viola said, no, you're missing the point. Where you're at and where I'm at, it's different. She's not belittling the person, but she has a very good point. If I go and I get a bachelor, and then I go and get a bachelor of science in whatever, and then I go and get a master's, and then I go and get a PhD, that speaks a little bit differently than somebody who has a bachelor's. So similarly, she went and she got her Oscars, her Tony, her Emmy, I think, and she was a part of Broadway. She says she has been in the business for 30 odd years, and they say, oh, you're the black Meryl Streep, and a Streep, she named her street. Lord, I'm terrible with names, forgive me. And to be paid only, it's wrong. Pay people what they're worth, because she has really made herself valuable. It's almost like, what more do I do? What more do I do? And that is why I so love the late great and the esteemed, the notable Cicely Tyson. She knew what it was like, because she was in a different generation than the Viola Davis. So she knows what low salary, poor salary, coming from the modeling industry, into acting. So she fully understands that. You follow me? So, and it was more in her latter days when things started to pick up for her. But one of the beautiful things that I love with her is that one of the beautiful things that I actually love with Cicely Tyson when she was alive. She said, look here, you see certain roles I don't play. So in other words, she charted her course. She maintained a certain posture, certain dignity, certain integrity. And I'm not saying that people who play certain roles, they don't have integrity. I'm just saying for her personally, her own boundary, that she would not play certain roles. It was part of her God-given mantra. She was here to really minister to people. And she wanted her life to show, look here, black women don't have to always behave hooligan-like, unclassy, and so forth. So if it's not about me being a queen, pay wasn't so good, and she's a good actress. Very, very was a good actress. And I think it was in her latter days, I think it was stated that Tyler Perry gave her $1 million for something or other that she did. And she said that the stint wasn't even great because she was as an elderly woman. And then maybe other things that she would have done with other people after a while, she started to earn and earn and earn. You follow? They made themselves valuable, but unfortunately racism is systemic. And I thought about us here in Jamaica. It's similar to the whole systemic racism, that no matter how gifted and talented you are, when we think of like the public sector workers, we're not talking loafers. We're not talking people who just take things for a joke. We're talking people who work arduously, tirelessly, night and day, and they give of their best. Sometimes they sacrifice their family time, their friendship, their time with their friends, and, they basically make a lot of sacrifices so that they can earn an extra buck or two, or to be paid what they're worth. And when you look, some people say unless we get premium monies, we won't give premium services. So some give themselves 100%, 200%, 300%, while the majority gets 20% split. Not even in 2 in 3 over a period. Not even in one sweep like the 100%, 200%. It's similar to what Viola Davis, Taraji P. Henson, Monique. Remember they nearly killed Monique when she spoke about that, and I'm sure and Cicely Tyson, she spoke about that, and she would have been in a different generation. It's the same thing that we're facing here in Jamaica. It's similar. Yes, we don't have the racism, but we have the colorism issue. We do. We do have that issue here, And I'm not saying that people are paid based on their color. If they come in and say, oh, you're a little bit lighter than this one. All right, so your pay can be high. You don't have to worry yourself too much. No, that is not true. I'm not saying that didn't happen in the past. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen now. But I don't know of that. Because I know of people who are lighter complexion than I am and got less than I did. We're on the same level. You follow what I'm saying to you? So, I just sorry about that, people. I get a little bit distracted. So, when I listen to Viola Davis on the matter, I realize that, it is a serious and dire situation, that why it all comes back to the black community, the black race, the black people. You don't see the Chinese them bickering, you don't see the whites bickering, you don't see, and I hate to use the word bickering. Maybe bickering is not, you don't see them, I don't even want to say belly aching or complaining, because they're not really facing that. They're not really facing that, and it does hurt, because it's like you're giving out your emeralds and rubies and onyx and diamonds and pearls, and just, it's like they're being cast, before a swine in terms of the pay. Viola Davis, Cicely Tyson, Viola Davis, oh God, the diary of a mad black woman lady there, her name slipped me. I don't even remember her name right now. The Angela Bassett's. I don't, honestly, some of the names I don't. Some of the Monique's, their names. I'm not good with names, so let me just stop right there. Good actors, actresses, I could mention some of the black, maybe Denzel is in a class by himself. He's totally different, and I'm sure he had his own issues. And where he's at, for me, he's the best actor in the world, male actor, and I'm sure he has had his own issues. Pay the people what they're worth. Pay the public sector what they're worth. They're worth far more than the 20%. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.